Hello, I'm Bliznub, and welcome to Building the Best. Today we're going to be doing the Kulstar as requested by,
Azuriel Mirazura.
that guy. So, Kulstar is probably the second highest damage? I believe it's the second highest damage secondary after the Angstrom. And it actually has several key advantages over the Angstrom because it has damage which is not visible here. Whereas the Angstrom, if I very quickly compare, we have 375 base on this, and on the Angstrom we have 425. But the thing is, the Kulstar also deals another 225 damage on top of this, which means actually per shot the Kulstar deals more damage, assuming that all of the projectiles hit, which is an assumption you can't really make, as the Kulstar fires a torpedo. Now bear with me, this is going to get convoluted. This torpedo deals blast damage when it hits, and then it deals a blast of blast damage, conveniently, and then it releases 3, what the wiki calls bomblets, I'm just going to call them grenades, each of which deals 75 damage, which means that those grenades actually deal 20% of the overall damage listed here, because we get 200 damage on impact, we get 175 damage from blast, which is an AoE, and each of the grenades has an AoE dealing 75 damage, or 20% of the weapon's overall damage. So, what we have is a mixed bag build. I don't normally go for these, but I didn't want to go full status chance on this, partly because there's a D polarity, and honestly I wanted to use the D polarity to get deep freeze on rather than forming it off to get another status chance mod on, but also slightly, given that each of the grenades appears to have its own status chance, buffing the status chance on this weapon is incredibly effective, and you will frequently see multiple status procs from a single shot from this weapon. So of course with multi-shot we're actually firing on average 3 projectiles, and unfortunately each torpedo still only drops 3 bomblets, grenades, god damn it. But at the same time, that's still 9 grenades and 3 torpedoes from a single shot of this damn weapon, and it is incredibly powerful. And the reason why I prefer this over the Angstrom, as I don't think I actually said that earlier, but I prefer this over the Angstrom, is because whilst the Angstrom requires you to use more ammunition in order to deal more damage, this weapon is incredibly ammo efficient, and whilst the the ammo capacity for this weapon is 30, meaning you can have a grand total of 33 rounds to play with, that's plenty. You will kill hundreds of enemies with those 33 rounds. Anyhow, now that I'm done just about this weapon, let's dive right into this build. So, of course, we start off with Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffusion, and Lethal Torrent, giving us this fantastic multi-shot and buffing up our base damage to ridiculous proportions. And then we have Heated Charge and Deep Freeze, and I will happily say, if you have primed Heated Charge, put it on. There is nothing that will buff up the damage of this weapon more, apart from Hornet Strike. But if you don't, Heated Charge is still pretty good, or possibly getting all 4 of the 7-point cost status and element mods. And to finish off, we have 3 of the 7-point cost status and element mods. In this case, skipping out on the heat damage, as I already have plenty of heat damage over here. Now, the other fun thing about the Kulstar is that as it deals base blast damage, we can get 3 different combined elements on this thing, which is fantastic. And I'm going to be going for Blast, Gas, Magnetic, because I'm going into a sortie up against Corpus, but as always, grab whatever combination you like. Blast, Radiation, Viral is particularly fun, as you will get insane amounts of radiation procs in a very large area of effect. But yeah, I'd say 17,000 damage? Almost 18,000 damage out of this weapon per shot puts it on par with some of the great primary special weapons. And honestly, even though this thing takes special ammo, it is just unbelievably awesome. And running it, right, that was the one thing I was going to say before I take it in. The one proviso is that you probably shouldn't run a bow with this weapon. I'll show you why when I'm in mission. But simply put, as they both take special ammo, the ammo cap is always that of the lower ammo cap on the weapons. And so as the Kulstar has a lower ammo cap, it will limit the bow, which takes the same ammunition of course, to a cap of 30. Meaning that, honestly, for the Raptor Cernos, not that useful, because 30 rounds out of the Raptor, that's so fast. So very, very fast. Anyhow, very quickly, one thing I can say about this weapon is that you have to be very, very careful with it when you're using it. This is one of the weapons which you can kill yourself with very easily. Probably, I'd say, the most lethal weapon for killing yourself in the game. So, as you can see, we fire, 3 torpedoes come out, and then bomblets go everywhere. That probably wasn't a very good demonstration. Let's fire over here. And we can see these teeny tiny grenades popping out of the torpedoes when it explodes and dealing insane quantities of damage. And these are level 70 to 80 enemies I'm shooting at. So, to be fair, the Oxium Ospreys are surviving quite well. But honestly, against everything else, this weapon is going to just melt them. I mean, it's not going to deal as much as, say, the Tonkor, but what does? The one fun thing about this is, against nullifiers, I'm just going to wait for him to stop running. Come on, buddy. Yes, hack that terminal. You shoot at the edge of their bubble, and they have no bubble left. That's it. Because the little bomblets are taking down their shields as well as just the general explosion, it melts nullifiers. This weapon truly is ridiculous against them. And that one, oh, it didn't quite kill him. But that did. Honestly, this weapon is just so much fun. It's insanely dangerous to yourself, but very, very fun. One thing I should note, I've never actually made use of this function, but you can detonate the projectiles mid-flight with your alternate fire key. Though personally, I just aim at a surface near someone, given that whilst the majority of the damage is actually the impact damage, not impact damage, the damage on contact with the enemy, roughly half of it is still the blast and the grenades. And it is just melting everything. Anyhow, oh god, I love this weapon. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Please like and comment below. Fair warning though, I have had a lot of requests over the holiday period when I wasn't working, so might be a little behind on requests. If I am, I'm sorry. I promise I'll get around to them as soon as I can. As I was saying, please like and comment below and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm Bliznub, and this is, of course, the Kulstar.